It can be really tough to start something new around the holidays. In my financial planning practice, one couple I work with just got their plan, and so we met up to hash out, their next steps toward making contributions toward their IRAs and making above minimum debt payments, so just knock their debt down in the coming months and years. And one person in the couple was saying like, it's going to be rough because the holidays are right around the corner. They celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they're realizing that putting this money toward retirement accounts and credit card debt, that's going to make it tougher around the holidays to have money for gifts and for things like that and hosting family members. And they were right. It will be tough. And so we talked about that together, and what we came to was a solution where instead of making contributions to the Roth IRA, they'll make contributions to a savings account called, post-holiday retirement savings. Instead of putting money up toward the above minimum payments on their debts, they will put that toward a savings account called, post-holiday debt payments. And that way, the money's there if they need it. If they really need it for holiday stuff, it's going to be there to use. If they don't, or if the majority is left over afterwards, then in January we can meet up and we can just make a big debt payment toward their debts and then get that going and keep making payments over time above the minimums. And regarding the IRAs, you can make IRA contributions, at least for traditional and Roth IRAs, for 2023 up until April 15th of 2024. So we still can make those contributions even if the calendar year is over. And that way the money's there if you need it, but we know the trade-off you're making if you do dip in that money for things other than retirement savings or credit cards. Now, is this approach mathematically optimal? Absolutely not. Is it risky? Yeah, it is. And I think some people would even say like, wait, your job, Joe, as a financial planner is get people to save money and not spend money. Isn't that the whole thing you're trying to do? I don't think so. I think my job as a financial planner is to help you invest your time and energy and money in a way that aligns with your goals and priorities. And I think that it's easy to look at spending on holiday gifts or Thanksgiving or candy for trick-or-treaters as some kind of frivolous expense. But I think in reality, it often reflects a very real value that a person brings to bear. It's coming together with your neighbors and your community and your friends and family, and it's important. I'm not saying like, any level of spending is justified. What I am saying is that like, yeah, it costs money to do this stuff, but it's really important to people. And that's a real value they hold. And so I think our job is not so much to get you to stop spending. I think our job is to understand your goals and priorities and help you navigate when they come into conflict. Because yeah, the goal of having a lovely, Thanksgiving dinner for your friends and family could come into conflict with your goal of paying down debt. And I think that one nice compromise is let's have the money there in separate accounts. So if you do dip into it, you know what you're doing, you know the trade-off. And that's really important, is to make that trade-off very clear. So you'll do it or you won't. But the point is, hey, if you had to spend more than you thought you would, that's okay. We'll work on it. We'll figure it out. We'll chart a path going forward, and it's going to be all right. So I think that's really important. The mathematically optimal advice is not always the most appropriate advice, and it's worth keeping that in mind.